Before we get into this one, I just want to make something very clear that unfortunately, I was not able to watch the whole Meg 2. All right, because unfortunately, on my part, I miscalculated just how long Mission Impossible 7 was. So, unfortunately, I missed about 20 to about like the first half hour of Meg 2, which means that I only saw about two-thirds of the movie, basically from the part where they crashed at the bottom of the sea, and they have to walk back to the base. That's where I caught the movie at. But it's basically like the whole movie. So yeah. Um Meg 2 was better than Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, in my opinion. In my, of course, controversial opinion. Because I'm sure there's like not a single other soul on this earth that agrees with me who knows about movies. Um, this is something that I was not expecting. I had no intentions of watching the Meg 2, at least in theaters. I would have probably waited until it got to like Max or something like that. But I just kind of ended up watching both Mission Impossible 7 and Meg 2 because I don't like just watching one movie in, a trip to the theater, since it does take a lot for me to get there, like multiple car rides, multiple bus rides to get to the mall where I have to watch the movie. So I just felt like watching two movies instead of one, so that's what I did. And I did not expect to like Meg 2 as much as I did. All right, I'm gonna drop a video like right before this one talking about why I thought Mission Impossible 7 was so disappointing, and I just never expected to make a video like this, because it's like, how is this even humanly possible? How can someone even think the way how I think, and think that Meg 2 of all movies, a movie that everyone has been shitting on ever since it released, like how could I think, someone like me who usually likes stuff like Mission Impossible a lot better than stuff like Meg, like how could I think that it's better than Mission Impossible 7? And yet I do. And I'm gonna tell you why. And it's simply because Meg 2 delivers on what it promises. Meg 2 is all about being, like this big budget, fun, dumb B horror sci-fi movie, and it delivers on all fronts. It delivers above and beyond my expectations of a movie like that. Mission Impossible, on the other hand, did not deliver on its promises. It promised spectacle, it promised, action, intrigue, world-ending consequences, world-ending, like dire straits and stuff like that, but it just did not deliver to the highest degree. It delivered well, it delivered good, but it just was not good enough. I just can't believe I'm saying this, but it was sort of like a palate cleanser after watching Mission Impossible 7. After watching this like borderline 3-hour movie, which was supposed to blow my mind, right? Or at least be a great entry into the franchise, and it just disappointed me, and I like, honestly, near the end, like the last half hour, I was just looking at my watch thinking when this thing's gonna end so that I can watch Meg 2. I didn't have high expectations for Meg 2 because I did not like Meg 1. Meg 1 was a pretty like tame film in my opinion, and Meg 2 still is pretty tame, considering that sort of genre mix works best as an R-rated, like blood fest, but it's a PG-13 film, and that just shows, like, even there, even though it's holding itself back, that it's still a great movie, because it delivers. The chemistry of the characters is better, the action the action set pieces, like the overall action set pieces of Meg 2 is better. The acting's not better, all right, but the jokes are funnier, and the CGI isn't as good, but it's fun. It's a really fun movie. It's a fast-paced, fun action sci-fi B horror movie kind of thing, and it works. It's dumb. It is stupid. It makes no sense. Characters have like super strength. Jason Statham is borderline like freaking bald Superman in this thing, right? But but they make it work because it has this like, it's so weird. It's just really like fun, like warm, sort of like, like turn your brain off kind of thing, right? It's a really great film. You think I was talking about freaking like Mission Impossible 6 or something, like the way I'm talking about Meg 2, but I'm talking about Meg 2. It is a great film in my opinion. It's like a solid 8 out of 10 in my opinion. I because I just did not see this coming. Honestly, I genuinely think that it's that good. Mission Impossible 7 has all of the elements of its franchise mixed together. They're all present in the film, but they're not as good as they have to be in order for the overall film, in my opinion, to be successful. Meg 2, on the other hand, has its mix of genres just like Mission Impossible 7, but it delivers on its promises. It promises dumb, it promises stupid, it promises fun, it promises charming, like borderline superhuman characters. All right, and it promises a bunch of unbelievable movie magic, and it delivers on that promise. Trust me, it delivers on that promise. Mission Impossible 7 did not deliver on its promise. All right, as much as I love Tom Cruise, as much as I love everyone in that film and everything that it's trying to be, it just did not deliver. Meg 2 delivered. Meg 2 is just really fun, fast-paced. It's got great villains. It's got great action set pieces. That whole sequence where they're on the ocean floor, walking under oxygen is near finished, and and there's sharks lurking by, and these other like lizard stuff, like dinosaur lizard stuff. There's this giant squid that comes out of nowhere, and they almost drown, and some of them get eaten up and stuff like that. It's just a really, that was genuinely intense. I walked straight from Mission Impossible, looking at my watch, walked straight to Meg 2. That's the first scene that I saw, and it was amazing. I can't believe I just said anything about Meg 2 is amazing, but it was okay. Yeah, the high's gone. I take it back. Not the whole thing about the movie, but just that about it being amazing. Amazing's kind of, let's not lose all of our credibility right now. But yeah, that was a really great scene. I honestly felt more fear for the characters, more worry and just tension. I felt more tension for those characters. These characters, most of whom I've never met. These characters, who aren't doing the best acting or whatever, but and their characters certainly aren't written as smartly as Mission Impossible. But I feel more for them in this situation than I did for anyone in Mission Impossible 7. Like, it just felt so weird loving this movie after I was finished watching it. It felt so weird, so such a weird, freakish, wrong feeling. Like, I'm not supposed to like this as much as I do, but I love this. Like, when this thing comes out on streaming, I'm definitely gonna watch it again from the start this time, just to see if it's really as great as the 2/3 of the film that I saw was, because it really surprised me. I did not expect this at all. I did not expect to love Meg 2. I did not expect to see Meg 2 as one of my favorite films of the year. What kind of world are we in? Like, Mission Impossible 7 is not as good as Meg 2? Meg 2? Out of all films, not Dune 2, not, you know, Meg 2? Meg Meg 2? Really? Anyway, that's all that I have to say. So yeah, that is why Meg 2 is better than Mission Impossible 7. Because it promised you something and it delivered above and beyond on that promise. Mission Impossible 7 promised something, but it did not deliver above and beyond or even regular levels on that promise. It is a disappointing Mission Impossible film. It is like, you know, it's just not good enough. But Meg 2 is more than good enough. It is a great film, and I definitely recommend that you watch it. And a lot of people do not like this movie at all. Although I do find it weird that people like Meg 1 better than Meg 2. Like, how is that possible? I don't know, but whatever. So yeah, just feel free to share your thoughts down below. Don't be too harsh or be too harsh. I don't really care. But it is what it is. Meg 2 is better than Mission Impossible 7. I have accepted that. And can't wait to not watch Mission Impossible 7 again and watch Meg 2 again. That might be too much though.